These are the final divisions. There'll be 3 of them, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. You'll come up and perform on the stage. There's very simple rules, which I will explain some later, but please remember to, as your teachers always tell you, to reduce your fractions, rationalize your denominators, and I'll say more as you come up, but I'll give you the teams. The first is Division 1, who's going to perform. We have 4 teams performing. Number 1, Johnsonville High School. You will be Team Alpha, and the next team is Marion High School. That will be Team Beta. Next is McBee High School. That's Team Gamma. And Mullins High School, that Team Beta. So as they say on television, come on down. That would be MacB. I apologize. Are we ready? Okay, I'll explain some things. In front of you, we'll see sheets of paper. Each one is marked with the appropriate problem number, your team name. You'll have scratch work that you can do the problem. Please put your answers in the rectangle provided, and only your final answer will be accepted. When you come up, the first student to get the first correct answer will score 3 points for that team. The second correct answer scores 2 points for that team. And the third correct answer scores 1 point. Each problem is timed for 90 seconds. After 90 seconds, that problem is over with and no final answers are accepted. Okay? So on your sheet, please place your name and your school number somewhere so it can be seen and identified later on if it needed to be. I don't know. We've always done it. You may actually not have to put your names on it anymore. It's a little bit different format. So scratch that last one. So are we all set? Okay, and problem number 1, please. Okay, and the problem is over with. On the next slide, we'll show the solution to the problem. Side of the squares, if the area is 200, the side of the square is the square root of 200, which is 10 times the square root of 2. The diagonal of the square is the square root of 2 times this number, and that means it's going to be the square root of 2 times 10 times the square root of 2, which equals to 20. Okay. All right, I guess we're ready for the next problem. Nothing to do but just to accept the problem. Okay, and Maestro, please. And we're done. And the next slide is the solution. Okay, by the third equation, we find dividing by 3, we get z equal to 100. Substituting this into the second equation, we find that y is equal to negative 150. And substituting both of these into the first addition, you will find quickly that x is equal to 100. And the third problem, please. So read the problem. All right. I will do that now. And number 3 is over. Okay, and the solution to the problem is, if x is the side of the cube, then x times the square root of 3 is the diagonal of the cube. That means that we have x times the square root of 3 is 5 times the square root of 3. Solving for x, we find that x is equal to 5. The surface area of a cube is 6 times x squared, which turns out to be 150 square units. All right, Maestro, the next problem. Okay, we've been asked to read. Actor Rock Squarejaw made $1 million on his first film. He was given a 10% increase for his second film. His salary for his third film was 10% less than on his second film. How much was he paid for his third film? And problem number 4 is over with. The solution, please. The solution to this is he was paid $1 million for his first film. 10% more is going to be $100,000 more, so $1,100,000 for a second. And 10% less, which is going to be $110,000 less, so $1,100,000 minus $110,000 is $990,000 for his third film. And question number 5, please. Okay, if 4 fair coins are tossed, what is the probability that the upward faces will all be heads? Is that it? Okay. The solution, please. Okay. That 1 coin will be a head as a half, and for 4 of them, that will be the product of 4 1/2, which is better known as 1/16. And question number 6, please. A favorite of mine. 500,000 gallons of water fall over Niagara Falls every second. Furthermore, a week contains very nearly 600,000 seconds. How many weeks does it take for 1 trillion gallons of water to flow over Niagara Falls? Please round it to the nearest week. And the problem's over with. Could we have the solution, please? And the solution is 1 trillion is 10 to the 12th power, 1 followed by 12 zeros. Divide that by 500,000 gallons, then divide this by 600,000 seconds. That turns out to be 100 over 30, which is approximately 3 weeks rounded. That means that when you hear the news media throwing out the number 1 trillion with abandon, that means that if you want 1 trillion gallons, wait 3 weeks at Niagara Falls and you've seen it. It's amazing. And our expert panel of judges has determined a winner. And coming in first with 13 points is Team Gamma, that is MacB. Coming in second with 11 points, Team Alpha, is Johnsonville. And finally, in third place with 9 points is Team Beta, that would be Marion. Thank you very much for your participation. All right, we're coming on to Division II's performance now on stage. We have 4 schools here who are going to come up on stage. They are, first, Hartsville High School, that's Team Alpha. Second is Mayo High School for MST, that would be Team Beta. Third is West Florence High School, Team Gamma. And finally, Wilson High School, Team Delta. So please move on down to the stage. Okay, I'll let you, Maestro, flash the answers or flash the, again, the rules that we know so well. The first correct answer scores 3 points for the team, the second scores 2 points, and the third scores 1 point. You have 90 seconds to answer each one. You have scratch paper provided. You have a box. Please write your answers in the box. And I guess we're ready to go. So as Jean-Luc Picard would say, make it so, number 1. Shown below are is a stack of cannonballs on a square base, 4 layers high. How many cannonballs are in a similar stack, 6 layers high? Okay, and we have answers. Give me the solutions, please. Obviously, in the top layer is 1 squared, the second layer is 2 squared, and so forth and so on. So it's the sum of the first 6 squares, and that would be 91 cannonballs. And the second problem, please, Maestro. A circle centered at the origin and of radius 10 is intersected by the line which is y equals 2 times the square root of 6 times x. What are the coordinates of the points of intersection? And the problem is over with. The solution, please. Okay. If you take the equation for the line and square both sides, you get y squared is 24x squared. We know that x squared plus y squared equals 100. That's the equation of the line. Substituting y squared from the line into y squared of the circle, you get x squared plus 24y squared is 100. That's 25x squared equals 100. Solving, we get two solutions, x equal to plus or minus 2. Sticking plus or minus 2 into the line, we get y equals to 2 square root of 6 times x is plus or minus 4 times the square root of 6. And so there's our two solutions. Ready? Question number 3, please. Okay, we have two cylinders. Cylinder B is 3 times as tall as cylinder A and is twice as wide as cylinder A. How many times more voluminous is cylinder B than cylinder A? You got it? All right, we have the 3 answers. The solution, please. Okay, the volumes of cylinders are proportional to their heights and the squares of their radii. Therefore, cylinder B is going to be 3 times 2 squared, which is 12 times more volume than cylinder A. Question number 4, please. Lenny Euler was at a point A. He traveled 8 miles north, then turns right and goes 4 miles east. He thereupon took a right-angled turn to the right and traveled 5 more miles. How far is he now from his original point A? You've got 3 answers, okay? Let me see the solution, please. Okay. If you let A be the point 0, 0 on a coordinate system, then Mr. Euler goes up to 0, 8 first, then to 4, 8, and then finally ends up at 4, 3. And of course, this gives you a 3, 4 right triangle, and calculate that the hypotenuse, which is the distance, is 5. And the next problem, please. 3 coins are tossed. What is the probability that the number of heads is more than the number of tails? And that's three answers. The solution, please. Okay, starting on the third line, you see a list of all possible 8 cases. A simple count of each show that 4 cases have more heads than tails. That's 4 out of 8, which is a half. And problem number 6, please. Joanne is stringing beads. She begins the pattern red, orange, yellow, green, turquoise, and blue. She repeats the pattern over and over. What is the color of her 100th bead? Okay, and that's 3 answers. And the amazing solution, please. Okay, we have 6 colors, so they repeat over in groups of 6. If we divide 100 by 6, we get a remainder of 4, which is also called 100 mod 6. Since the 4th bead is green, the answer will be the 100th bead is green. And there will be no need of a tie-breaking problem. Number 1 team, the winning team, will be Team Delta. That's Wilson with 18 points. Coming in second will be Team Alpha. That's HHS, Hartsville High School. And finally, coming in third is Team Gamma, West Florence. And we've come to the Division 3. We only have 2 participants in this one, so if you'll listen, and Team Alpha in Division 3 will be Lee Academy, and Team Beta will be Trinity Collegiate School. So if y'all would come on down. All right, are we ready? Okay, I know you know the spiel, but we'll go through it one more time. You have your sheets here. Write down your answers there. Here comes the first question. Oh, the procedures, yes, that we know so well by now. First answer gets 3 points. Second answer gets 2. Third answer gets 1. You have 90 seconds. And you may engage. Question number 1, please. An automobile has a 6-digit odometer. The current reading is 998,463. What will be the reading 8,888 miles later? Note the car does not have a 7-digit odometer. And the time has elapsed. The solution, please. And listen up good. You need this in real life, especially if you're driving a car that's nearing 1,000,000 miles. We all know that if we take 998,000 and some change and add to that 888,000 miles, we get 1,707,351 miles. Subtract 1,000,000 from that, and you get the solution 7,351 on your odometer. And question number 2, please. If A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 150, what is the sum of 2A plus 1 plus 2B plus 1 plus 2C plus 1 plus 2D plus 1? And time has elapsed. The solution, please. If you take the last expression on the previous slide, which is the one after the we have there, if you rearrange, you get the first expression after the first equal sign. This turns out to be 304. And the next, number 3. 10 people are in a room, and everyone shakes everyone else's hand. How many handshakes have taken place? And please note that the diagram shows exactly one handshake. And time has elapsed. The solution, please. You have 10 people for the first person to handshake, 9 for the second, so that's 10 times 9, which is 90, but this counts each handshake twice. You divide this by 2, that gives 45. And with more sophistication, when we mathematicians eat around the dinner table, we call this the number of combinations 10 choose 2, written 10C2 equals 45. And the next one, please, a favorite of mine. A large cube is divided into 64 smaller cubes. Each of the smaller cubes is then divided into cubes of side length 1/2 that of the cube that it is coming from. How many very small cubes will be in the original big cube now? And time has elapsed. The solution, please. Each of the small cubes divided into the side length of 1/2 will contain 8 very small cubes. If you're nerdy enough, and I am, to own a Rubik's Pocket Cube, you know that the 8 cubes are in that one. So the answer will be 8 times 64, that's 512 very small cubes. And the next question, please. Okay, a standard 12-hour clock reads noon. What time will the clock show after 100 hours plus 100 minutes plus 100 seconds? And time is up. The solution, please. Okay, 100 hours, 100 minutes, 100 seconds. If you convert the 100 seconds to minutes, you get 1 minute, 40 seconds. That means you now have 101 minutes and 40 seconds. Now convert the 101 minutes to hours. That's 1 hour, 41 minutes, 40 seconds. So you get 101 hours, 41 minutes, 40 seconds. That's 101 hours is 5 hours by 12. So the time will be 5 hours, 41 minutes, 40 seconds. And if you're interested, this is doing base 60, which is what the Babylonians did 4,000 years ago. Whenever you read the clock, you're doing Babylonian arithmetic. And question number 6. Bob is about to invest $10,000 at 5% per annum interest for 1 year. He will be taxed 40% of the interest he earns. How much money will Bob have at the end? And time has run out. And the solution, please. And listen up good. You're going to need this for your life. Remember, your government's going to tax you. If you start with a principal of $10,000, a 5% interest is going to be 5% of that, $500. You'll be taxed 40% on this, which is $200 of that. $10,000 plus $500 minus $200 is $10,300. And for the Division III round, coming in number 1 is Team Beta, that's Trinity. And coming in at number 2 will be Alpha, Team Alpha, that is Lee.
Good afternoon, my name is Hubert Setzler. As we just witnessed, the high school division champions, first of all, the high school champion in Division I is McBee High School. You may come up and receive your award. The high school champions in Division II, that's Wilson High School. And what we just witnessed, the high school champions in Division III, that's Trinity Collegiate School. Congratulations. Congratulations. And now for the top county scores. First of all, the top score from Chesterfield County was Clayton James Garrison, McBee High School. The top scorer from Darlington County was Michael Hong from Hartsville High School. Michael Hang. The top scorer from Florence County, Paul Lee, Wilson High School. The top score from Georgetown County, Jordan Carmichael, Johnsonville High School. Congratulations. The top score from Lee County, Megan Schwendinger from Lee Academy. Congratulations. The top score from Marion County, Brooke Kirkland, Mullins High School. Accepting in her absence, David Scott. The top score from Marlboro County, Jerovi Matthews, Marlboro County High School. The top score from Williamsburg County, William Bartell, Hemingway High School. Congratulations. The honorable mentions in the written competition are Helena Wang from Wilson High School, Emily Chen, Wilson High School, Alicia Yang, Wilson High School, Christian T. Rhodes, Wilson High School. Nishani Mati, Wilson High School. Matthew Forrester Lee, Trinity Collegiate School. And Madison Hassler, Hartsville High School. Congratulations, good job. Now the individual awards in the written competition. First of all, third place in the written competition is Sarah Paramore, Trinity Collegiate School. Congratulations again. Second place in the written competition, Paul Lee, Wilson High School. And finally, first place in the written competition, Michael Hang, Hartsville High School. This concludes the 34th PD Regional High School Mathematics Tournament. We'd like to thank all the participants and coaches for turning out today, and we at Francis Marion would like to say happy holiday season and good afternoon.